All right, guys, as we are trying to model what causes the Las Vegas monsoon season, here is something to consider. I've got a model here. I've got a tub of sand, I've got a tub of water, and I've got two temperature sensors to measure the temperature of this sand and this water. They're connected to a LabQuest module, and they're pretty close to the same temperature. One is 26.6, the other is 26.5, 1/10 of a degree Celsius, 2/10 now, I guess. Pretty close. The last part of my model is this heat lamp, which is positioned directly over the water and the sand. What would happen if I shined this heat lamp down on the sand and the water so they're both getting the same amount of heat? What would happen to the temperature? What do you think? Let's find out. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my heat lamp. And I'm going to measure the temperature change in this system. And I'm going to see what happens. They both started off at about the same temperature. So what's going to happen to this system as the sand and the water both get the same amount of energy coming down from that heat lamp? So we'll give it a minute or so. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I can tell you I'm starting to see a change already. If I look over here at my temperature data, the land, which is in red, is already 2 degrees warmer than the water, which is in that kind of blue on the bottom. And I can see that right now the land is actually heating up faster than the water is, even though they're both getting the same amount of heat from my heat lamp. We'll let it go for another minute or so. As you watch this, consider, what do you think the components of this model represent? What do you think this tub of sand represents? What do you think this tub of water represents? What do you think the heat lamp represents? And how in the world is this going to help us make sense of our anchor phenomenon? How does this help us understand what causes Las Vegas to get more flash floods in July, August, September, and October than the rest of the year? So we've been going for a couple of minutes now. Let's take a look at our temperatures. So my land thermometer is measuring 4 degrees warmer now than my water thermometer. And it just keeps getting hotter. So it looks like we're at 4.3 degrees warmer, right? 4.4 degrees. We're starting to see a pretty significant difference between the land and between the sand and the water, even though, again, the heat lamp is directly over both of them, right in the middle, so that they're both getting the same amount of heat. So what does this tell us about what might be happening on our planet, on our part of the planet during July, August, September, and October. So we're about 4 minutes into this. We can see a pretty clear difference at this point. There's over a 5-degree difference, 5.2 degrees now. So I'm going to stop this video because it's just going to keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter in our tub of sand. You can see that there's a big difference now. So go ahead in your notebook on your final temperature column. Go ahead and mark 33.2 for the land, let's say 33.3, and 27.8 for the water.